All right, thanks for checking out this video. If you're like me and you like your Chinese food and you like having those scallion pancakes that have that nice crunch on the outside and that soft center with all the layers and the onion flavor, oh, those things are fantastic, aren't they? Today I'm going to show you how to make those scallion pancakes on the stovetop, so stay tuned. Okay, so first we're going to make the dough, and in order to make the dough you only need a couple of ingredients. Really easy. You're going to need 2 cups of all-purpose flour, half teaspoon of salt, half a cup of boiling water, and you want to work the dough until it all incorporates. Then pour in 1/4 cup of cool water and continue to work it in. You want to knead it for about 10 minutes until it all comes together. Cover it up with some plastic wrap. Put it aside, let it rest for about 10 to 15 minutes. While we're waiting for the dough to rest, now it's not going to rise, there's no yeast in it, this is unleavened bread essentially. I'm going to make the filling. Okay, so in the filling, we're going to need 1/4 cup of your oil. You can use a peanut oil. I'm using just a vegetable oil in here. So I'm using a larger bowl. Okay. Half a teaspoon of salt. I'm using a Himalayan sea salt. Get that in. About a half a teaspoon of garlic powder or granulated garlic. And half a teaspoon of onion powder just to enhance the flavor, the onion flavor, the scallion flavor. I'm using 1 cup, 3/4 to 1 cup about of green onion, finely chopped. Usually you want to slice them down the middle and chop them up that way. You want small enough pieces where they're not going to stick out. If you like larger pieces, it's just going to stick out a little bit. They may fall out. So you want to add that into the oil too. Okay, and we're going to add 3 tablespoons of all-purpose flour. Basically, we're going to make kind of a paste out of this. So 2 and 3. Okay, and we're just going to mix this in until it all comes together. It comes together pretty quick, and it'll be like a yellowish paste in there. So you just want to make sure we get it all incorporated until all the flour kind of disappears into the bowl or into the mixture and becomes kind of pasty. Okay, and you can add any other flavors in here you want. You want to add some ginger, you want to add sesame seeds or whatever you like in a scallion pancake, besides obviously scallions. It's up to you. This is the point where you want to add it. All right, so this is pretty much what you have. I mean, it's just kind of a pasty, oil mixture. The flour helps to bind everything together. Now the dough has been sitting for about 10 minutes while I made the slurry, got everything kind of cleaned up. So I'm gonna take the plastic off of the dough. Okay, I'm gonna add a little bit of flour to my cutting board or to your countertop, a little bit to my hands. Okay, get the dough on the flour and the board, flour the rolling pin. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll this out as thin as I can. The thinner, the better this works out because you'll have more layers. So just going to roll that out nice and thin. All right, so now I'm going to add this oil slurry of flavoring on here. Just get it all on there, and then we can spread it out. Okay, so let's get that all out. You want to try to get a one layer evenly spread here. You want to get it all the way to this end here, the end you're going to start folding, and I'll show you in a second how to do that. Let's start folding here. You want to start at one end and start rolling. Get some of that scallion flavoring in each roll. And you want to get it, pull it kind of tight, not super tight, but tight enough to be able to get some of the air bubbles out. Okay, and as we get to the end, I'll show you how to seal it all up. Okay. Okay, you want to seal that, roll it all up like this. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to just kind of move it out so it's all kind of even. Seal up the ends here, just press the ends together. Yeah, like this. So close that up so nothing escapes. Okay. And I'm just trying to make it one roll evenly all the way across. Take one end here. Now, there's a couple of different styles you can use. This is my preferred style. This is the style that works for me. You can just roll it, the whole thing, or you can do a double roll, or you can flap it over. I've seen a few different styles. This one here seems to work well for me. So, and just like making a coffee roll, just want to roll it halfway, and I roll this side here, halfway here, and then just like that, like a spiral S. That looks good all by itself, but we're not done yet. So here, then I take one, place it over the other, and flatten it out. Give it a nice flattening here. Okay, so now what I'm going to do with this, and you can make these in advance. Okay, now you let it sit. So I'm going to cover it up so it doesn't dry out. I cover it up like that, and just leave it aside while we heat up the pan. Now in the skillet, I'm going to put that on, medium to high. You don't want to go super high, but enough to get the oil hot enough to about 325 or so. And I'm going to be using a vegetable oil, maybe about a quarter cup or so, whatever I need to coat the bottom. Don't want to deep fry. If you want to deep fry, that's your call, but doesn't need it really. Just enough to coat the bottom, maybe a quarter inch at the bottom, just enough to get this in there. As we're not done with this yet, we're still going to have to flatten it out. So I'll bring you back when we're up at temperature, and I'll show you how to flatten this out and get this ready. All right, now that we've let the scallion pancake dough settle for a little bit, for about 10 minutes, 15 minutes, we're going to flatten it out. In the meantime, I've got the skillet going on the induction cooktop here. And I'm going to get just the flour a little bit here. Okay, get a little bit on my hands here. And the rolling pin. Now I'm going to flatten this out a little bit by hand just to get it started. And when you flatten out using the rolling pin, you don't want to roll it back and forth. I found that rolling in one direction, it actually works better, keeps the layers intact. So just going to roll it out this way here. Just almost like making a pizza. Okay. Okay, and you want to roll it to about, I don't know, maybe a 3/16 of an inch, ½ inch at the most. Okay. I'm going to make it probably as wide as that 10-inch pan. So once I get to that point is pretty much where I'm going to stop. Okay. All right, so I'm going to get this is some vegetable oil. I'm going to get that into the pan just to get a good coating. Like I said, just enough to be able to sit this in. I don't want to, not really deep frying. I'm just kind of just a quick pan fry. Okay. So I'm going to take this and we're going to lay it in nice and gently because the oil is going to be hot. See some bubbles here. We're going to let this go for a little bit. Okay, be very careful if you're doing this. I'm using my hands on the cool part here before it gets soaked in oil. Now, this is where your lid comes in. You want to make sure you cover it for about 3 minutes or so the dough actually cooks through, because it will be softer on the inside, so you want to be able to cook it through before you flip it. Once you flip it, a couple more minutes, it's going to be done. And I'll bring you back when we're ready to flip it. All right, so now it's been cooking for about 3 or 4 minutes. So we're going to take that off. Okay, you can see that the edges have started to turn nice and brown and golden. So now you're going to flip it here. So I'm going to take it with tongs and give it a flip. Yeah, nice and gently. Now, you can cook this without much oil. You can put a little bit of oil in it. I think the oil helps cook it and gives it a little flavor too. So now we're going to cook it without the top on for a few minutes. And in the meantime, what we're going to do is I'm going to give it a little crunch here, like this, just to separate the layers, like that. So just to keep it separated as it continues to cook. All right. So when you squeeze it from the edges, it'll help separate each layer, so you have more flakiness in the scallion pancake. So I'm going to let this go for about another 3 to 5 minutes until the dough is relatively completely cooked. The inside, with the top on, actually steamed it, so it's not going to be crunchy on the inside. It is going to be crunchy on the outside and softer on the inside, but that's the texture we're looking for in a scallion pancake. So I'll bring you back when this is done, and we'll cut it open and give it a taste. So now the attempt is to pull it out without breaking it. So use my big fat spatula here and put it on some paper towels to cool a little bit, because this is scalding hot. I'm going to just hit it with a little pinch of salt to the top. So I'm going to let this cool and cut into it, and we'll give it a taste in a few minutes. All right, so now it's been sitting, cooling a little bit. I took it off the dish with the paper towels because you don't want to sit it on there. It'll soak up and get soggy on you. So you can hear, I'll use a knife here. So it's pretty crispy and it's got flakes coming off of it. All right, so I'm just going to cut into it here. You can hear the crisp, outer shells of it, the layers. Okay. Okay. I'm going to make small pieces because this is a big pie style pancake. Okay. Okay, so let's take a look at what it looks like on the inside here. So let's grab this one here. So you can see, nice, huh? Look at all the layers in there. You can see all that. Nice. You got nice crispy bottom, crispy top. It's really, really nice looking, and it tastes good too. I put it on a dish. I've made my sauce. Basically a little bit of ginger, some soy sauce, a little bit of Worcestershire sauce, honey, and some sriracha. Decorated with some green onions and some garlic and sesame seeds. So I'm going to take this piece right here, and you can hear the crispiness in that, and you can see the layers. Look at that. Nice soft layers on the inside. So I'm going in little dip. The texture difference is fantastic. I love these scallion pancakes. You know, crunchy on the outside, saltiness, you know, onion, you know, soft insides, all the layers, kind of flakiness. It's kind of a nice treat. If you like this video, give it some thumbs up, give me some likes, subscribe if you haven't subscribed. I've got more of these videos coming up, you know, in the future. I also do some reviews. Also check out some of the videos here on the side from our playlist here. We got plenty for you to choose from. We hope you enjoyed watching us make my version of scallion pancakes, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.